I am Guru Subramanian Swaminathan.
Listening platform.
This was extremely hard for me. The next day morning, I had a one-on-one on the job. I got to know my role was made redundant.
Love to say myself as the technology enabler. My passion is how do I make myself more as a role model for my children. So this is the reason I'm here as well. In simple forward, Onnala mudiyum, nalla padicha. That moment had given me so much power. For kids, no words. Only living by example. And this generation rebels back on that. Felt myself achieving my vision and mission. So that anybody who believes in their vision, what they want to become, the vision will empower us through. So this is all possible because the power of vision.
Power of vision is amazing, really.
So women, I see many of us are not asking for help. My husband who does majority of the sharing of work.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Listening Platform. Today we are going to have a podcast with none other than Meena Ramalingam. Welcome Meena for the podcast.
Thank you. More happy to be here.
Thank you so much for doing this. What we will do is that first we will go with your introduction and then we'll start with our regular questions. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. All right. I would love to say myself as the technology enabler, basically working in IT industry for 22 plus decades. I would say 25. I just thought of saying 25 and then so time flies, and my passion is how do I make myself more as a role model for my children and understand what the next generation goes through, and see how I can pass my word of wisdom. Not necessarily just for my kids, and this is the reason I'm here as well. I would love to see how each of us can get into a space where we can have the conversation, understand each other, build a system and a community that makes collectively us uplift us is what I'm interested in. That's the reason I'm here with Guru today.
Thank you so much, Meena. I think it cannot be a better time than this, right? I think probably last week Cloud has dropped with that cloud work and projects and things like that, where it can do everything on its own. And the point you are covering is really about being there, having the conversation, building the community. I don't think it's possible from AI perspective. That's where the human comes into the picture. So it's the right time you're doing this. Thank you for. Is there anything else you want to capture? You want to say about your background, your industry where you have worked upon? When did you migrate to Australia and things like that?
Certainly. I would love to start with a little bit of a storyline, which is this is when I was 10 years old. I'm from a rural village in India. So we went to an election campaign where Prime Minister of India, Rajiv Gandhi at that point in time, he flew in a helicopter to our native town. So there were millions of us waiting for receiving the esteemed guests over there. And my dad took us to, he was cycling us for 12 kilometers and we were there. The moment I still remember, Rajiv Gandhi stepped out of the helicopter, waving his hand in a white kurta, sunglasses, beautiful sun-setting experience. Like we were all looking up at him and cheering. So that moment has strongly recorded in my mind. And I asked my dad pretty seriously, I want to fly
the helicopter.
And I was showing my dad. He didn't even think for a second. He said, "You will when you study well." In simple forward, Onnala mudiyum, nalla padicha. That's the only, no dramas, right? Just only few, but it was so profound for me. So then I just had to give a bit background about my village as well. There's no high school in there, and I had to go to my next town to my HSC, higher secondary school. And there was a lot of struggles. I studied at the street light, and that was, now I reflect back, I feel, oh wow, we have crossed that. But that point in time, the power of vision, which was so deeply inscribed in me that I can when I study well. So I studied when I was a topper at school, college, and then I came out. Again, fast forward a few years later, I got an opportunity for an official business trip to Hong Kong. And from there I had to go to Macau to meet my clients. There are multiple ways of modes of transport from Hong Kong to Macau. I chose helicopter, just unconsciously, right? I will go by helicopter. And that time when I arrived at Macau, it was a beautiful evening, sunset. I was at white kurta and sunglasses, and that was a moment so profound I was waving my hand. There was nobody else. There's no crowd.
Okay.
But I felt myself achieving my vision and mission. So that's sort of why I want to say this. It's just not my story.
Okay.
Anybody who believes in their vision, what they want to become, the vision will empower us through. It pulls us up. It creates a future for us. For a young girl who had no high school,
Okay.
I'm here now sharing this story with you.
Yeah.
So this is all possible because the power of vision, and it could be possible for every one of us. It's just that I want to share that.
Thank you so much, Meena. It's very powerful actually. I could visualize Hong Kong to Macau. Like I have been there a few times specifically from Hong Kong to Macau, the casinos and things like that, right? But I have never imagined going by helicopter. Now I could visualize. It was very easy actually. I should have done that.
Totally right. That's a profound moment. We can achieve it. It's a moment, right? Everyone can achieve.
Power of vision is amazing, really. Thank you for sharing that. So we will go into the little bit of experience, which is more important from the listener's perspective also, so that they will be able to connect and then reflect upon their lives also. So there are a lot of moments of fear, moments of uncertainty or new beginning. So what did you discover about yourself after going through whatever you have gone through?
Okay, so I'll take you to my engineering days.
Please.
So this was my first year in engineering. I still remember vaguely. Those are the days of the eras of ragging. That was quite common
Very
at that
common.
point in time. We were nothing but junior assistants for our seniors.
Okay.
Like, so they push us all the record writing and things like that. And I was struggling to get my books. I couldn't afford to get the textbooks for my engineering.
Okay.
So then while I returned back a record on a command of my senior,
Mm-hmm.
I looked directly into his eyes and asked him, "Can I have your first year books?"
Okay.
At that moment, my heart was pondering. Until then, as a child, you are protected within your parents take
Correct.
care of every needs, and you don't have to be worried how do you live your day. And that was the first time I'm out of my home and into a new hostel, living new life and things like that. So I don't know what drives me there to ask that question, but he was silent. It was literally like it was a moment that he might not have expected, I guess. And he has seen the genuinity, and he said yes. That was a moment that I realized the power of asking for support.
Okay.
And since then, I always ask questions. I'm always curious, trying to see what is it. Even if someone says or says no, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I will go and knock the other door.
Okay.
That's how I mean, that moment had given me so much power that I can ask for help.
Okay.
I can ask for it, give support, get support profoundly. So that's a moment like when I reflect back on my fear, the major fear of how do I approach my situation.
Okay.
I all the time, I straight away go and ask the person, even if I'm not ready to get there.
Okay.
Even if they say no, I am doubly thick-skinned. It's okay. You said I understand your position. Don't worry about it. But I still continue to pursue what I want to achieve. So that as a woman, I see many of us are not asking for help.
Okay.
To me, it's so profound. We tend to observe so many things. Even at household, I will say, I will ask for my husband, can you do this? I will ask my child to clean his bathroom. So that some of us women believe that it is greedy, needy. Or maybe even they think that's not culturally right things to do, and it helps me internally. It helps the entire ecosystem around me as well.
Okay.
My son is now able to live by himself. He cooks, he cleans, he does everything. It's not a big thing. Most of the kids these days does it.
Correct.
But if the way where I am from, that's not common.
Correct.
In my family, I would proudly say it's my husband who does majority of the sharing of work.
Okay.
That's because I kept asking, and even if it gets denied somewhere, I don't mind. It's perfectly okay to say no to. But at the same time, if I'm not asking, he might not know what I'm going through. I was a working woman. I had 2 children. I'm more supporting the family, supporting their education. So I don't want to be the superwoman who manages all this by myself. When I need help, I will seek for it. So that's the moment. That's how I grew from being, overcoming the fear.
Okay.
And getting support needed.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. It's like, so couple of things, right? One is like you are also persistent to continuously ask for help, though it may get rejected a couple of times. So you have gone through that process, people may say no, but again, ask again and they will say yes. And the next thing, what is coming out very clearly at this point in time, Meena, is that you mentioned about women observing so many things, right? And that's very, very important. Don't have to, but that's what happens most of the times. Actually, it's good to speak out, good to ask for help, and as you rightly said, nobody is like a superhero or superwoman. We're all trying to lead a regular life. Thank you so much on that. In terms of, you said about your son doing things on his own and things like that, right? So how it was possible for you to transfer those knowledge to your kids actually? How was it possible?
Interesting question. For kids, no words works. Only
Okay.
living by example. If he doesn't clean dishes,
Okay.
it would be there. I would never jump in. I would never clean it, even if it is 2 days. This week, if it's dishwashing is his work to be done, he can do it in the morning, night, evening, after school. So I don't care.
Okay.
And I don't even bother, even if it spills over for the next day. He has to pick it up. And if he needs a glass, I would say you go and then he loads the dishwasher and gets this.
Okay.
Done. So the same.
Practical living.
So to me,
Learn by doing.
Yeah, like for them, we need to give them the space for them to, if we be pushy, do it by our command, by this time, and this generation rebels back on that.
Okay.
So this is required,
Okay.
and this is your task. Are you okay with that? Once you have, this is we in our home we say that it's a contract of agreement.
Okay. Good.
Okay, you do the laundry and drying things like that. You do the dishes. My daughter does, and if they are not doing, it will not be done. I will not jump in and do it.
Okay.
That's how I.
It's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Good lesson.
So what I would say, give them the space, give them the time, and they will accomplish it.
I want to touch upon the subject which you are also very passionate about, listening to your own body and be aware of what's happening and things like that, right? So what is that you have learned by listening to your own body, and how do you want to spread that message?
A profound moment. I want to share this. That's the reason I'm here as well. There are two major situations I'm going to share it with you. Bit personal, bit authentic. So I just want
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. So the first thing first, this was a corporate meeting.
Okay.
All leadership team, sales managers, everyone was there. I prepared for my pitch. I was ready with my proposal. It was a month of work. I shaped it, made it so ready for presenting it. Facilitator was driving the conversation. There were a few other presenters.
Okay.
And in that forum, when a presenter giving a critical business insight, I snoozed off, literally.
Oh.
I was so, when I woke up, everyone seen me, looking at me, like staring at me, what happened? And that was the moment I did complete my presentation very well, and I got my proposal approved. That's a side story. But then I blamed myself so heavily.
Okay.
I was lazy, I wasn't disciplined, I didn't have enough sleep, and there were so many things I blamed on myself. Fortunately, that moment was so bothering me, so I went to a GP. I was perfectly all right. I assumed at that point in time I'm healthy, everything is fine. Just that moment was so strong, so something pushed me. I went to GP, and then she did a sleep test for me, and I was detected as a 85% sleep obstructive person.
Okay.
It's some term called sleep apnea. I haven't even heard
Sleep
before
apnea.
that there is some such thing exists. So why I'm sharing here, I feel many of us value of sleep we don't realize.
Okay.
I believed I had a good sleeping pattern because I stay in bed. I assumed that I was sleeping.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get enough oxygen. I woke up every time, it seems. So that bothered that deep sleep that is required for every one of us to regenerate and stay healthy. And it is so important. If you see or observe or someone struggling with their sleep, it's always better to make sure that if it is a constant or a persistent issue. In fact, when I was driving, I used to feel sleepy. So I blame myself, maybe because I didn't do this, or I'm a lazy person. I had enough food, or I should skip this and take more coffees, all work around, and which I didn't realize. After that particular moment in my life, it was in a way good for me.
Yeah, I also want to say how important it is for women to be aware of their changes in their body. As I am going through my second situation, which I want to share, is about perimenopause. This is a challenging phase for many women, and understanding our own body, listening to our own body, this is where I feel it's quite critical. This was a large situation happened to me, a big wedding, a large family gathering, and someone crossed a line which I didn't like it, and I didn't realize that how angry I was at that. It was extreme mood swing for me. I was aggressive. I went into an argument which I could have avoided in such a large gathering. Then those days or when I didn't have a better understanding of how my hormone have been fluctuating across and what are the do's and don'ts of that. So then I all the time I look back and reflect. I realized, okay, this is not the natural me. So there I have consulted a similar situation happened multiple times within the family also. I go to picking up a lot of arguments with family, get into extreme aggressive mode. And then I realized this doesn't work well for me. What should I do? At the moment, there were multiple trainings happened, and I'm fortunate to hear about perimenopause. As a woman in 40s, the hormones change, and someone may face night sweatness or maybe hot phase and or extreme mood swings. These sort of challenges, when we go through, we take it personally. It may be something wrong in me. I would say if you're facing that situation multiple times, it's better to consult and seek for support. I have got a wonderful support with my GP. She has guided me through the space, how better I can cope up with this. There are cope-up mechanisms which I wasn't even aware of. My family, my mom or sister have not had that luxury, but there are better ways to handle it. And now I'm able to, okay, if something goes wrong, I'm able to at least able to listen to my body, what's happening, and take a pause, action upon it.
Okay.
So I strongly recommend for women, if you see any particular persistent pattern and listen to your body, take a pause, better check it out, seek for support, you won't get it.
Thank you so much. So grateful for you to cover up this particular topic, which doesn't come up in any normal gatherings or anywhere. Thank you so much, Meena, for sharing that. So when things in life happens, right, unexpectedly, it could be a loss, it could be some sort of an uncertainty, or it could be some sort of an ending which we are not expecting it to happen so fast, actually, right? So what did you learn about doing a reset and starting again, and also finding why you have to start again? Would you like to share examples? How is it?
This was extremely hard for me, but I will explain the situation and how did I. Again, this was on a Thursday morning. We got a message from our HR. There's a bunch of us in that email chain, and the invite. It's an absolute must to attend. And we had only a couple of hours to attend that session. We were confused. We just attended. Most of us were confused. And there was an announcement about a restructuring. We had no time to reflect back, and we are all. So it's a tough situation. The next day morning, I had a one-on-one personal interaction with my line manager and HR. I got to know my role was made redundant. This was 25 years in my IT. High performer, high potential, always had a good track record of my career, and it had happened. The redundancy hit me hard. I wasn't prepared for that situation. Many of us were. It's not just me or they. I hear this in the recent days quite often. So this is what I did. First couple of days, accepting the fact and living in that emotional moment is also important. Otherwise, it would somehow sneak us to somewhere else. It comes through.
Okay.
I didn't bottle up the emotion. I let it out. I have my friends and family who supported. I leaned on their shoulder. It was hard moment, difficult moment for me. But at the same time, two things that I have done right, which I would also recommend everyone to do it or continue to do it, is number one, I was very keen on establishing FIRE, just financial stability, and I built a decade of somewhere. I picked up some books or something that guided me through. And I'm always keen on establishing my financial stability, which worked well for me. So I don't have to jump around the ceiling of what would happen for tomorrow, how do I bring bread to my table. That was not the challenge I had, which was good. I recommend every one of us to think through, have your financial stability established in this uncertainty, in the uncertainty world. Second thing, I did it right. I was part of a community. I was part of multiple building community and being part of community contributing. So what did I do? As I already said, asking for help is not a challenge for me. I always ask shamelessly. Often I ask. So I jumped into that community and I have requested for help. You wouldn't believe it. I got multiple supports then and there direct. One person who rang up to me within 15 minutes and he became my coach. Sudhindra, who guided me through how do I face, what conversation I should have with my HR, because that was a 4 weeks duration, and what other rational process that I have to get through. And I got a call from my coach, Suchindra. He spent an hour with me to explain. Sudhindra and Suchindra are two different persons, by the way. And next day he was guiding me through how do I equip myself for facing the reality. I also got help from you, Guru, and how the references I got, how do I face the interviews, because at that time, one thing I didn't do well, understanding the market trend and how what is the salary, because when I applied for few roles, I was quoting the package that I got at that point in time, but that industry shifted and moved, which I didn't realize. So there are a lot of things that we need to catch up at one point in time. Polishing your interviewing skill, which was not something that
Not used to for long.
for us in Australia specifically, networking is more important. Only through references, there are hidden job market references comes through as a first preference. Strongly focus on networking and being part of the community. Building a financial stability is more important, which I did. I was able to
Good.
get through.
That's the most important to know.
I was able to get through that. So now what I learned, there is no permanent job or no certainty at this point in time, at this era. I am coming in. So I would strongly say keep the network on. Networking is key.
Thank you so
That's
much.
fine.
Thank you for sharing it. I think just for the audience purpose, right? I think what Meena is covering is, number one is the FIRE, FIRE, financial independence and retire early. So if you have not heard that term till now, I would strongly recommend you to just Google the situation you are in at this point in time. Go through that, understand what it is, and establish yourself. That's a very key important point. Prepared always in terms of understanding what's happening in the market and equip ourselves with whatever is the latest, basically. I think same applies for redundancy also. We are seeing it almost on a daily basis across the world. It's not just in Australia, it's across the world. That's what we are saying. I'm sure these three things, I think certainly is going to be helpful for who is going through that.
Certainly.
In fact, we have a common friend who has gone through this phase, actually going through this phase a couple of weeks back. Same thing happened. They are also going through the same phase at this point in time. Hopefully it's helpful for them to catch up and then improve upon it.
Certainly. This is why the listening platforms are so important. People understand they are not just left alone. They are not just the one. Because when I faced it, why it happened to me. A few weeks before I got a high performance rating. So it was totally mismatching for me to accept that, right? So for us, it's for me, I think it made me more resilient. It improved my self-confidence. Until then, I was expecting organization to give me the growth. I didn't take the power of the growth as just I know what do I say within the organization, can I get promoted? That was my focus. I was narrow-minded. Now I see, okay, there's a work opportunities. Like I was self-limiting myself, not having the courage to ask for it and things like that at that point in time. Now I feel like let me go and try.
Thank you.
I need it. Yeah.
I think Meena also mentioned, I think just want to bring up their names that you mentioned, right? And thank them also. So one name which Meena mentioned is Suchindra K. If you remember, he was the first person who started off this podcast last July. So he's one person. And second person is Sudhindra. And Sudhindra is certified from ICF, that is International Coaching Federation, and he's a PCC. I will probably put his contact also in the YouTube description. Whenever you have time, you can reach out to them. How finding your own voice. How did it happen? Did it happen automatically, or did somebody push you through that journey? And just want to hear about the voice, the power of your voice, how you have used it in the community.
This was 7-8 years ago. I was at Woolworths. I'm a hardcore engineer by design by choice. So when I built a product from idea to implement, I was in a presentation stage to take through the senior leadership team to get their blessings for the budget approvals. So the pilot was ready. It was in front of the audience, and then I was literally throwing some jargons, not able to. It was a word salad, so much information I want to put everything. So then it didn't go well. People didn't understand the why and the what and the how, because it wasn't a convincing pitch at that time. So I lost that opportunity. It's so painful when you put in your heart but you are not able to tell your own product an idea. You get many of us being a founder or being a leader where you want to sell your ideas, your voice have to be here. So it was a deep painful moment for me. Fortunately, one of the leaders was there, and his name is Rory Gas, and he was a product leader. He just after the presentation, he took me out and said, "Have you heard about Toastmaster?" He hadn't given me anything else. He didn't say, "Oh, you go join here and there." And then I did my own research and I figured it out. There's a public platform. I would take a few minutes to explain.
Please.
It's a worldwide organization specifically focusing on public speaking and leadership capability. Wherein you become a member of a particular club. You can find out wherever it is close to your home, and they help you out. It's a forum. It's an open forum where You can test your speeches, or you can try prepared speech and impromptu speaking like this one. So it gives you a forum where you get the constructive feedback, how you can optimize and how you can improve.
Okay.
Multiple training sessions, learning paths, supporting hands, and so such a safe forum where you will not be judged based on your previous thing. It's based on your speech. And then this is my 7th year in Toastmasters. I
think
recently won an award. So thank you. So it's such a, when I joined Toastmasters from where I was and where I am today, I see a phenomenal growth in presenting my ideas in a structured way, wherein it is not just the learning. I'm now part of a speechcraft mentorship program, wherein I help people how they can fine-tune their speeches and be prepared for their public speaking skills. I recommend every one of us to explore the Toastmasters program. It's to me hearing from so many people's stories. That's where you will see the diverse culture gets through. I learn a lot every day. It's not just the public speaking. Get to know how everyone's perspective varies. In our club, we have a special session called Point of View, wherein someone throws some idea and you agree or not, you have to give a counterpoint of view. So that's sort of debating skills and thinking differently, thinking on the fly, and presenting in a structured way, reviewing others in a constructive way. These are the good skills to be under practice every time. It's not just you read a book and you will become a great public speaker, right? You need
action basically, right?
It is, right? So just like you play soccer every day or every week, and Toastmasters is also a similar platform where you practice public speaking, and also it's a leadership opportunities there, wherein you grow as a vice president of education for your club and you represent the district area. There's a potential growth and you get to facilitate so many events and things like that. It's a phenomenal, cost-effective platform for finding yourself in public speaking.
Thank you so much, Meena. I think one point, probably which I want to emphasize is basically, right, is what you mentioned about the point of view.
Yeah.
So the point of view is very important, and specifically on the corporate circles actually. Specifically when you're in a corporate environment, when you're in a meet, you need to put your opinion forward. Being silent doesn't help. Absolutely. So you got to put your point of view, and specifically in Australia, you are expected to put your point of view with respect to all other participants in the meeting. But if you're not able to put your point of view, that's considered as weakness. Is that right?
Right, absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's a very important message for everyone. That brings to the say, when you say point of view specifically into the meetings and things like that, right? Where you're doing something very intentional. It's not by reaction. So what is that you want to speak about? Intentions and not by reactions, right? You want to give any examples on that?
Interesting. So for me, I'm very driven by goals and objectives. I set my annual goals, and I do have my 3 years, 5 years plan. I'm very structured in what I want to be. I set my vision board, and when I say my actions are predominantly, I would say 70% intentions. At the same time, I'm flexible when you make the decision on the fly based on the situation. And of course, we learn a lot by making some decisions which might not work at that point in time. I'm more decisive. Whatever information I have at that point in time, based on which I make a decision, but I own it. Any consequences of it, I face it as well, good or bad. So, I enjoy both aspects of it. I'm more intention-driven person.
I think I can see that earlier in your life, what you mentioned about seeing Rajiv Gandhi in the helicopter. The intention has come through your life very clearly. Great, thank you. Probably try to come to the last question in terms of legacy, reflections. So I think there's a lot of things when you say goals and things like that, right? I think habits, reflections, all those things will certainly come into the picture, right? So, is there anything you want to share by way of example and things like that, specifically for the audience?
This happened to me in the recent days where I keep forgetting my reading glass. Returning back while I was driving away and see whether I switched off the stove. I think most of us face this. No, not most of us. Some of us face this challenge. So I started thinking, what happens to my brain? I'm losing my memory, and am I present in the moment? Actually, all the times when I check for my stove, it was always off. I did switch off. I did lock the door, but that moment was not registered in my mind. So I was always doubtful whether I did it. And one day I was spending 10 minutes or more trying to figure out where did I keep my reading glass. It was on top of my head. My daughter came and just oh, you stupid, you are having it here. So that for my life was a couple of months before I said, no, I don't want to get into the memory challenge. I want to challenge my brain. And then I started the Devaram recitation. And Devaram is a Tamil poetry. This is more religious aspect of it. At the same time, it is also connects so deeply to me. I'm able to anything that I'm getting into that depth of passionately, be a bit more looking inwards, taking that pause and being a bit more silent, and that sort of thing helped me to stay able. Otherwise, it's always jumping on. I do this, I do the next thing. And for me, yoga, meditation, and Devaram, the way that I challenge my mind and grow, I don't want to lose my memory.
Okay.
Something maybe you hear a lot of midlife crisis terminologies here, but this is something it occurred to me. It could be possible with sleep apnea, and I might have cognitive load could be a challenge and things like that. So then I decided for me now I'm able to recite the Devaram. Just spontaneously. It comes from my soul and it gives me energy. And when I jump, do martial arts, before I say there's a kata, and when my trainer says I take the right, now I am able to.
Through. Okay.
Yeah, that was the stage where I was. Now I'm continuously intentionally putting effort.
Correct.
And to challenge my brain and bring that level of doing it in presence. That helps.
Thank you. I think one thing you mentioned before we started this conversation, I think you mentioned about legacy. I don't know why we spoke about it, but I thought legacy is something that's passionate to you. Is that right?
True, that's so true. My dad is a teacher, so he's a retired teacher. He believes in spreading the wisdom, and that comes in my DNA too. Yep. For me, sometimes I see children. Devaram is one such example. We have such an intense 1300 years of it was so very well written, so you could able to relate now. But if you don't pass this legacy to our children and they don't get to know wealth of wisdom that we have, I keep it in my children's bedside table. They have an English translated version as well. So you see any new code or anything that's been already told by Thiruvalur. Okay. So that's, for me, it's a legacy. That's how my dad had bring up us, and I want to continue to do that as much as possible. And I spread the same, not just my family and friends, and also in the community wherever possible. Be a volunteer and do things that would help to lift others. That's what I meant by legacy.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing it. I think when you told about the quote, and probably it is in Tirukkural already, like, I think I recently learned about one of the Australian blogger. He's in Karnataka, he's going around Hampi and all those places actually. So what he found is basically, we are speaking about like stargazing, telescopes and things like that, right? He said, it's coming now, but go to this particular temple in Hampi, where they have carved the telescope already long ago. So whatever, most of what you see here is already existing.
Navagrahas, and they were able to, they are far ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Meena, for doing this podcast. It was certainly a different genre of podcast. I would say we have covered starting from your goals, then your intentions, how you're going to how to listen to your body and take actions. We've also covered about redundancy, corporate redundancy, and the ways to go around it, basically, which is going to be very important for everyone now, actually, right? So, and main thing is asking for help without hesitating, basically. That's the important thing which I have learned here. Thank you so much for doing this.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for this platform.
No problem. Anytime. We'll do it again if time permits again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.